Hello, I'm glad to see you in VNA News Bulletin. I'm Bang from Hanoi, and now the headlines as usual. Prime Minister Nguyễn Phúc calls for joint efforts in improving education quality. Prime Minister urges measures to address flood consequences in Lào Cai province. Asian Farmers Association convenes in Hanoi. Prime Minister Nguyễn Phúc has called on the party, state and the whole society to join hands with the education sector to improve education quality, which he described as key for the country's sustainable development.
During a national online conference on August 5th to review the 2015-2016 academic year and launch tasks for the new year term, Prime Minister Phúc said investing in education is development investment, which should be prioritized in our socio-economic development plans and program. He mentioned the Party Central Committee's resolution on basic and comprehensive reform of education and training, highlighted the efforts of the education sector so far in enhancing the quality of both teaching and studying, which has helped ease student study overload and improved the education infrastructure system, especially in mountainous and remote areas. However, he also pointed out a number of problems in the sector, including the ineffectiveness in foreign language teaching, which is leading to poor English proficiency among high school students amidst the country's strong international integration. According to a report by the sector, despite economic difficulties, investment to education and training in 2016 still accounts for 20% of the total state budget spending. The report also highlighted adjustments in the national final examination for high school students, which meet the requirements for enrolling in college and university.
National Assembly Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân met with voters in Cái Răng district, the Mekong Delta city of Cần Thơ on August 5th. We have more in the following report.
Voters voiced their concerns about an array of pressing issues, including policies for people who rendered service to the country, health insurance, environmental pollution, and food hygiene and safety. On behalf of other National Assembly deputies of the city, Chairwoman Ngân said the legislature will work with the government and the health ministry to improve the quality of the health sector's activities. Ensuring food safety and hygiene will be included in the Parliament's Supreme Supervision Program, she added. The legislative body will also continue to strengthen supervision over issues of voters' concerns, said the chairwoman. A day earlier, Chairwoman Ngân also met with local voters, where she acknowledged that the investment in the Mekong Delta is still modest. Hence, the National Assembly and the government will review general plans for the Mekong Delta, including those on transport infrastructure, so as to reduce the development gap among regions.
The Prime Minister has urged comprehensive measures to address the flood and storm consequences in the northern mountainous province of Lào Cai.
Tropical storm Nida, the second hitting Vietnam in 2016, brought heavy rains that caused floods and landslide in Lào Cai on August 4th, killing 3, injuring 7 others, and sweeping away many houses and facilities, according to the Provincial People's Committee. The Prime Minister requested Lào Cai authorities to undertake maximum efforts to search for the missing and provide support to the affected residents. On August 5th, Deputy Prime Minister Trịnh Đình Dũng visited affected families in Bát Sát and Sapa districts. The Deputy Prime Minister also urged local authorities to accelerate search and rescue work while stepping up educational campaigns to improve the awareness of the consequences of flash floods among local residents. The Provincial Steering Committee for Natural Disaster Prevention said the total damage caused by the flood exceeds $9 million. The flood also submerged over 10,000 hectares of crops, many roads, and dozens of communal and irrigational facilities in the 2 districts. According to latest reports, 46 households in Phinghan and Quang Kim Kamil's Basa district are still being isolated.
The fifth consultation between economic chiefs of 10 ASEAN member countries and Russia took place in Vientiane, Laos on August 5th. We have more in the following report. The event took place under the co-chair of Lao Minister of Industry and Trade Hermany Fonsena and Russian Minister of Economic Development Alexei Vyukaev. The Vietnamese delegation was led by Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade Nguyễn Cẩm Tú. Minister Alexei Vyukaev held the formation of the ASEAN Economic Community, holding that it will help speeding up regional integration and make ASEAN a more dynamic and competitive area. Russia is the eighth largest partner of ASEAN, with two-way trade hitting $13.4 billion in 2015. During the event, held within the ongoing 40th ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting, the economic chiefs expressed their delight at the success of the ASEAN-Russia Summit in Russia's Sochi city in May this year. They asked senior economic officials of both sides to continue discussing Russia's proposal to set up the ASEAN-Russia Economic Partnership in Connectivity, while recognizing Russia's suggestion to conduct a feasible study of the establishment of a free trade area between ASEAN and the Eurasian Economic Union.
Economic ministers and deputy ministers from ASEAN and its 8 partner countries reiterated the endeavors to accelerate economic integration in East Asia at the 4th East Asia Summit Economic Ministers meeting in Vientiane the same day. The delegates said risks of a global economic slowdown still exist, adding that the global economy is forecast to grow at 3.1% in 2016 and 3.7% in the year to come. The ministers and deputy ministers mentioned the signing of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement and progress made in regional comprehensive economic partnership negotiations. Total trade between ASEAN and its 8 East Asia Summit partner countries reached $1.05 trillion in 2015 as compared with $1.11 trillion in 2014.
The 7th General Assembly of the Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development opened in Hanoi on August 5th. The event served as the knowledge exchange forum on farmers' organizations' engagement in public investment programs to help eradicate poverty and hunger by 2030.
Delegates discussed and put forth a range of practical solutions to promote the sustainable development of agriculture and rural areas in Asian countries. Founded in 2002, the Asian Farmers Association is a regional alliance of 17 national federations and organizations of farmers and small-scale producers from 13 countries in Asia, including Vietnam. In an effort to ensure rights and interests of Asian farmers, the association works to enhance sustainable agricultural policies and practices, promote agriculture among the young, encourage fair and just treatment of small-scale farms, and step up food sovereignty measures. Addressing the event, President of the Vietnam Farmers Union, La Xuân Mon, said the alliance has worked closely with other members to together achieve common goals in sustainable agricultural and rural development and protection of farmers' rights and interests. Vietnam has officially become a member of Asian Farmers Association this year after acting as an observer for 14 years. The membership would provide the country plenty of opportunities for the development of its agriculture and farmers.
The border trade agreement signed between Vietnam and Laos in June 2015 offers special tariff preferences for the two nations' businesses, held a conference in Hanoi on August 5th. The special tariff preferences under this trade pact are not applied to any other countries, Deputy Head of the Asian Pacific Market Department under the Ministry of Industry and Trade Lê An Hai said, adding that numerous goods made in Vietnam and Laos will be subject to 0% or a 50% tax reduction. Earlier, Vietnam and Laos signed a bilateral trade deal in March 2015 to replace the old one in 1998. The two trade deals has paved the way for new commodities to enter their respective markets.
The two trade agreements incorporate preferential conditions Vietnam and Laos grant to each other, which bring more advantages to both sides compared to the existing conditions they have from their ASEAN membership. As a result, bilateral trade is expected to thrive. The main goal of the pacts is to create a legal framework that will help increase bilateral trade, encouraging border localities of the two countries to seal contracts and exchanging goods. The bilateral border trade agreement is expected to increase trade between two countries, as well as develop Vietnamese and Lao border gates as gateways to transport goods between countries in the region and beyond. In the first 6 months of 2016, bilateral trade topped $433.3 million, a year-on-year decline of 34.7%. Vietnam's processing and manufacturing industry has become very attractive to investors from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations countries, as they have pumped almost $27.7 billion into 1,176 projects in this field. The Foreign Investment Agency reported by July 20th, the country had 3,040 valid investment projects from ASEAN nations, capitalized at over $64.47 billion. In the first 7 months of 2016, Vietnam attracted 181 new projects and saw 79 existing ones from the bloc increase capital worth $2.49 billion, accounting for 19.26% of the nation's total investment. In addition to processing and manufacturing, ASEAN investors are interested in real estate, electricity production and distribution, and construction. Singapore tops the list with 1,663 projects worth $38.1 billion, followed by Malaysia with $13.8 billion and Thailand with $9.4 billion. The most attractive destinations include Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and southern Bình Dương and Dong Nai provinces, thanks to their good infrastructure systems. Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi took the lead, drawing $17.33 billion and $8.39 billion respectively from ASEAN investors, making up 26.8% and 30% of the bloc's total investment in Vietnam. A photo exhibition on the ASEAN community opened in Hanoi on August 5th as part of celebrations for the first founding anniversary of the community as the 50th anniversary of the bloc. On displays are a set of stamps, documentaries, and photographs chosen from photo and documentary contests themed ASEAN country people, climate change in ASEAN, and ethnic groups in ASEAN. There are 27 paintings which won an ASEAN Junior Drawing Contest held by the Ministry of Labour, Environment and Social Affairs, as well as books featuring ASEAN, Southeast Asia, and Vietnam. Representatives from embassies, ministries, and agencies attended the exhibition, which is expected to further strengthen understanding and solidarity among member states. And that's to wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.